What's going on, big guys? Today is July 26th, Friday. I gotta work soon. Was off yesterday. Was just chilling. As far as an update, hang on a second. The walls have ears. Had to roll the window up. Today's kind of a true crime episode, but I'm also bringing awareness to stuff and a little bit of storytelling from when I was a kid. Being a little hoodlum, I was an okay kid. I wasn't super bad. I wasn't super horrible. Oh, update. So, yesterday I went on a date with my wife. It was her birthday, July 16th. So her boss gave her a $40 gift card to Outback Steakhouse. I've never been to Outback Steakhouse. My mom used to love it. My dad used to take her on dates to Outback all the time. And she used to talk about their bloomin' onions. She loved bloomin' onions. I didn't try the bloomin' onion, but so we had a $40 gift card for that. And we went there. I'd never been. So it was a tall Samuel Adams. I got for $14, dude, coconut shrimp, a loaded potato soup, and cheesecake. $14. So if you're poor like me and my girl, dude, $14, $30 for two meals. She got a steak, a 6-ounce steak. Hers was like maybe $1 or $2 more, but that's not fucking bad, dude. And then we came home and we started playing a new card game. For anyone who has been a long time listener, you guys know that me and my wife are big into Pokemon trading cards. And here lately, man, I got burnt out on it, you know. I didn't get rid of them, obviously. Those are mine. I'm keeping them. But I was like, man, I want to keep collecting cards, like trading cards. There's a serial killer trading card set that I really want. There's Stranger Things trading cards that I really want. I found the entire Terminator 2 trading card series from the 90s for like $20. I really want. But anyways, we started this new card game, playing it and collecting, called Lorcana. And I already know this is a conspiracy channel, so be cool in the comments. I got a blue pill. I have to blue pill, otherwise I'm going to go crazy. But it's Disney. It's a Disney card game where you battle Disney characters. But it's pretty cool. Like, there's like medieval swords and shit involved. It's kind of like Magic the Gathering. So like Mickey Mouse as a musketeer, Mickey Mouse as a knight in shining armor. Kind of reminds me a little like Kingdom Hearts, you know. So we played that, we learned how to play it, and we started playing it. The actual mechanics of the game are fucking awesome, dude. It's not bad. I like it. But that's my intro, that's my update on what I did yesterday, my day off and shit. Today's episode, like I said, is going to be true crime. I'm going to do a little opening and tell you a story so you guys can get to know me better, of how I almost went to juvie when I was a child. I don't think I've ever shared this story on here. It's not super long, but it's kind of fun. And we'll get on to an article if you don't care. So, a cigarette and a newspaper and a story from Abe. And I will, one of these days, get back to doing Leave the World Behind. I haven't forgotten it. There's been so much going on with this whole Trump thing. Because I know Leave the World Behind, that series is doing really fucking good. I'm getting like almost 100 views on each episode, which is cool. But I can't not talk about the Trump assassination attempt because new shit keeps popping up and I have to cover it, man. But I promise you, I will get back to Leave the World Behind. I'm not done with it. So, my hometown is Hudson, Florida. And when I was in high school, I was freshman year of high school. I moved from 8th grade, freshman year of high school, into a new city. It was Hernando County. I can't remember the high school. I don't know. It was a big school. And I used to take the bus to school in the morning. And there was this dude. I don't remember his fucking name, but he was a wigger. And he was super fucking tall because he kept getting held back. Because he was like not all there in the head. And he would like literally sit at the back of the bus and go, "What's up?" Do you guys remember the Budweiser commercials of the two guys and the frogs and shit? I don't know. It was a big thing in like the 90s, early 2000s, maybe. But everybody was going around going, "What's up? What's up?" And he used to do that shit. And I was a punk, so I used to come to school with spiky hair, leather jacket. Or no, at the time I had a Johnny Ramone haircut. That's what I had at the time. I loved the Ramones. And my parents, they wouldn't... Yeah, this was before I started spiking my hair and cut it short. I was huge into the Ramones, so I had the blue jeans, Converse, a leather jacket that my mom bought me, and a Johnny Ramone haircut. And he used to make fun of me all the fucking time because he was a wigger, and he used to wear this brand called Rockaware. I don't even know if that shit's still around, but I did not like it. I don't like being verbally abused every day on my way to school. So I had this neighbor like 2 blocks away. I used to walk to his house because his sister, she was a lot younger than me, but I was freshman year in high school. I think she was 7th grade middle school. And I never did anything with her, but she was super pretty. They were like a Puerto Rican family. And she was kind of goth, you know. She had like shorter hair, but it was kind of like Robert Smith from The Cure, and Puerto Rican, so she was brown skinned, and just a skinny, shorter girl, like little A cups, you know. I was in love, dude. And I used to literally just sit there and hold her hand. Like, I never kissed her, I never did anything with her, because I was always too scared. I'd get shaken in my boots and shit. But like, I used to hold her hand on the way to school every day, you know. But, oh, that's why I brought him up. Her older brother used to skip school all the fucking time. And I was cool with him. His name was Jamie. But he used to skip school and he would play video games all day. And he would piss in bottles because he didn't want his mom to know that he was home. Which she had to have known that he was home. But he would play video games all day, PlayStation 1, on mute. And when he had to pee, he would go to his closet and he had like a whole storage of like piss bottles, and he would pee in bottles and keep them in there. And their house, by the way, like, they were cool people, but they had tons of cats, and the cats just used to pee all over the place. Like, both of them, as pretty as she was, she used to smell like ammonia, and he smelled like ammonia, and the cats would just pee on their clothes, and then they would just put the clothes on and wear it to school and shit. But Jamie came in with a candy bar one day. He said, because it was like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and he's like, yo, bro, check this shit out. I'm like, okay, cool, a candy bar. He said, no, it's a laxative candy bar. I said, ha, 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 ha. Cool. And I was like, well, there's that tall wigger in the back that keeps making fun of me every day. And he's not all there in the head. He's kind of like retarded. And I can say retarded because I was in special ed in Northwest Elementary School when I was in elementary school. I was in the special ed ward. I was like, let's give the fucking wigger retard who picks on me, let's give him at least one little nugget. Because it was like divided in cubes. You're only supposed to eat one cube, and it's supposed to make you shit your brains out if you're constipated. And I said, I can't remember his fucking name. It's been so long. Let's just call him Tall Wigger. Or, I don't know. I don't know his name. Tall Wigger dude. So we gave him the candy bar. And he's like retarded and shit. He's like, thanks, guys. He just scarfs down the entire candy bar. And we're like, dude. So anyways, he eats it. And someone, of course, there's always someone who's got to run their mouth. I was the one who gave him the candy bar. I was the one who tricked him into eating the entire thing. I thought it was funny because he was such a bully to me. I thought it was funny that he was going to shit his brains out. So, we go to school. Everyone's laughing. Everyone says, hey, Abe gave you a laxative candy bar. Haha, you know. I make it about halfway through the school day, and I get called to the office. And I'm like, fuck, it's the candy bar. So I'm expecting automatically, like, suspension. Which was fine, like, 3-day suspension, whatever. When I get up there, there's a fucking cop in the office. I get called into the principal office, and there's a fucking cop standing there. And they go, Mr. Williams, sit down. I go, fuck. I started getting scared at that point when I seen the police officer in there. And the police officer just says, so you're our little pharmacist. I said, yes, sir. I already know it's about the candy bar. And he said, do you realize you just committed a crime? That boy had to get sent home, like, first period of the day. And he's, like, overdosing on laxative. And his parents don't know if they want to press charges. He's in the hospital because they're making sure that he doesn't poop himself to death. Because you're only supposed to eat one cube, and this guy ate like 10 or 15. Yeah, we're figuring out if they're pressing charges, so we just wanted to let you know you are suspended for a week, and this might go to court. You might get arrested. So then I get home after that school day. I'm sure I was fucking terrified because my dad used to beat us, you know, and I knew I fucked up. And I get home. I don't remember my punishment. I'm pretty sure I was grounded for like a month probably, and forced to like memorize like Psalm 1 chapter 144 or something like that. It's a long ass chapter. My dad made me memorize it. And they told me, they got a letter from the police station, and they're like, hey, we don't know, your son might have to go to juvie for this shit. And it was an official letter. My mom opened it and was like, Abe, you might have to go to fucking juvie. And I'm like, fuck. And thank God I don't know who did what behind closed doors, because I was just a teenager, or a preteen, I should say. I don't know what strings were being pulled, but the parents did not press charges. I know it's on my criminal record. They said, now you have a criminal record. And it was something small, like abuse of pharmaceuticals or something. Basically, I poisoned someone else with pharmaceuticals. And it's on my criminal record. It's probably, I don't know, it's probably still there. Does stuff fall off your criminal record after time, or is it kind of like a driver's license? You know what I mean? Like tickets, does shit fall off? Anyways, that was my first crime on record that I ever committed. I almost went to juvie. Thank God I didn't, because I'm a little guy and sensitive and a pretty boy. I would have gotten fucked up the ass in there. So that's my brush with almost going to juvie. Now, we're going to read an article, something I want to cover. It'll bring awareness of what's going on in Kentucky about juvie. So let me take a break, take a breather, and we'll get on with the episode. So this is Lexington Herald Leader. It's a little older. It's not super old though, but I try to buy it. $3 a paper now, dude. It's fucking nuts. I can't get Sundays. Sundays is like $6. I'm not paying $6 for a fucking newspaper. Okay. Investigation of state's juvenile jails, so Kentucky, may take over a year. The U.S. Department of Justice likely will spend more than a year investigating possible civil rights violation of youths held by the Kentucky Department of Juvenile Justice before it publishes a report on its findings and takes final action, attorneys for the federal government said Monday. A small team with the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division in Washington, D.C., held an online briefing Monday evening for families of youths held in the state's 8 juvenile detention centers and others who have an interest in the troubled facilities. Several trial attorneys and an investigator have begun the process of requesting documents from the Department of Juvenile Justice and planning interviews and tours of the facilities, and the federal officials said. Quote, "There may be times where it feels as if we're not moving quickly enough, given the harms that children might be experiencing. We will make every effort to conduct this investigation as quickly as we can." And that's a quote from Suraj Kumar, Harold and Kumar. Dude, I love White Castle. We used to have this place, by the way. It wasn't White Castle. It's down in Florida, and I've only seen it on major highways when I'm traveling from state to state. And it was this place called Crystals. Y'all ever had Crystals with a C? It's fucking awesome. It's fucking better than White Castle. I feel like the food is fresher, the fries are better. My dad used to be obsessed with Crystals here and there, and me and him went out on a date. I know that sounds weird, but he didn't do nothing. But anyways, he'd say, "Come on, Abe, we're going on a date." And I'd go, "Cool, where are we going?" "We're going to Crystals." "Cool." So me and him, just me and him, not mom, not anyone else, went to Crystals, and we're eating little cheeseburgers. They're like White Castle, little cheeseburgers, little slider. And he was driving this little tiny little car. He called it the Blue Squirrel. I think it was like a Geo Metro or something. And he's driving, and I'm in the passenger seat, and he's going, and he's like, "Dude, there's like a flock of seagulls." Haha, no pun intended. Hey, I kind of got flock of seagulls haircut, baby. I like flock of seagulls and Duran Duran. Anyways. And he's like, "There's a fucking flock of seagulls," or he didn't say fucking, but "There's a flock of seagulls chasing the car." And I just start giggling, and he's like, "What?" He looks over. I'm holding out French fries out the window, getting all the seagulls to chase our little tiny car. I don't know. It's a good memory. Sorry, Siraj Kumar said that. A Department of Justice attorney said during Monday's briefing, "Thus far, the Kentucky DJJ has cooperated fully with our investigation." Kumar added, "The Department of Justice announced May 15th that it will investigate Kentucky's juvenile detention centers, as well as youth development center that is attached to the juvenile detention center in Adair County." Never been there, I don't think, unless I just drove through and didn't know it. "Federal investigators will examine whether the facilities use excessive force and punitive isolation, so the whole. If youths are adequately protected from violence and sexual abuse," is what I was talking about, because you can be all the way up to 17 years old and be in juvie with like 10-year-olds and shit. That's why juvie's so fucking weird. I don't know if they divide them up by age and shit. I don't know. Spooky shit though. Federal investigators will examine whether they do that. Adequately protected from violence and sexual abuse, and whether the Commonwealth provides sufficient mental health care, which is well needed, education, which is well needed, and services for children who are disabled. So, retarded people, handicapped. If the Department of Justice finds systemic civil rights violations in the juvenile detention system, it can negotiate a settlement with the state of Kentucky to enact reforms, federal officials say. If the state does not agree to ... Continue on 5A. Give me just a second. By the way, I'm so fucking rude. I forgot to introduce my co-host again, Lammy Chillmeister. He's reading the newspaper with me today. He says, "Hello, everyone." He doesn't really have much of an update. He's just, he's been chilling, suntanning in the dashboard. You see my hula girl? She jiggles while I drive. She dances for me. I think she's from Moana. I don't know. I super glued her to the dash. Okay. The Department of Justice can file a lawsuit to force the issue, the officials said. Kentucky has been here before. Yeah, it's recording. The Kentucky Department of Juvenile Justice was created in 1996 as part of a settlement with the Department of Justice after the previous hodgepodge of juvenile lockups. It was overseen by the State Cabinet for Human Resources. Was discovered to be so bad that it violated the youth's civil rights. So this is why they're investigating. The Lexington Herald-Leader has reported extensively for the past 3 years on chronic abuse and neglect of the youths held in facilities operated by the Department of Juvenile Justice. Its coverage has examined the assaults. There's been riots, escapes, and other long-standing problems at the troubled agency. So it's not doing pretty good for juvie here in Kentucky. Its reporting triggered an independent audit from the state's auditor Allison Ball's office that was ordered by Kentucky legislators in March of 2023. Ball's audit found that the Department of Juvenile Justice failed to comply with reforms called for in 2017 inspection report after a teenage girl died in one of her isolation cells. So she was isolated in the hole and she died. That's sad, and she was a teenage girl. Quote, "Careful reporting by news agencies along with advocates on behalf of organizations throughout Kentucky brought this matter to the attention of the Department of Justice," Kumar said Monday. A civil rights investigation focuses on whether systematic abuses have occurred, such as the repeated misuse of pepper spray or isolation cells in ways that violate youth's constitutional rights, the federal officials said. Constitution. The Herald Leader has reported that in some cases, teenagers have been held in isolation for extended periods because of understaffing, not because they posed a safety risk. In other cases, well, pay more and people try to get a job there. Just an idea. We print money. Money is paper, dude. In other cases, employees have used excessive force on youths, including pepper spraying them in their cells as a form of punishment. Quote, locking children up for even short periods of time, especially under harsh conditions, causes real harm. And it doesn't have the promised rehabilitative impact. See, that's another thing too, and I tried to explain this to people. I've been to jail 3 times. Jail is not supposed to be a punishment. It's supposed to be a rehabilitation center, in my opinion. It's not supposed to be a punishment. You are there to educate. You are there to learn your lesson. Chill out. Come out a better person. Not come out a worse fucked up individual. Sophie Vick, an investigator, that's what she said. We are here today because the problems that have been reported are traumatic and may violate the law, she said. In the Civil Rights Division, if the Civil Rights Division learns of possible criminal violations by people inside the facilities, those can be referred to federal prosecutors in Louisville and Lexington, Kentucky, for further action, federal officials said. The Department of Justice encourages anyone with information about civil rights violation inside of Kentucky's juvenile detention centers. Here you go. They want you to call 888-392-8241. I will repeat that. 888-392-8241. So, that's what's going on. The juvenile detention centers here in Kentucky are being investigated. Like I said on this channel, we cover conspiracies, we cover blue pill stuff. I wanted this episode to be a true crime episode, and we covered true crime. So, shameless plug, go check out my previous true crime stuff. I think I did 3 episodes on Charles Manson. I had a female serial killer series. That was pretty cool. I covered like 3 or 4 bad bitches killing babies and all sorts of shit. Jack the Ripper. I did a series on Jack the Ripper. I think it was 4 episodes on Jack the Ripper. So, I want to get back into true crime, but we're doing a Leave the World Behind series. When we're done with that, my next series that I'm thinking about, I'll talk a little bit about the channel, what I'm thinking about doing. After we finish Leave the World Behind, which, by the way, it's an audio book with commentary by me, and we do some deep dives and sidetrack into rabbit holes about the movie and the book and Cyber Polygon. So check out that series. But after we're done with that, I'm going to get back into probably paranormal, some ghost story stuff like I used to do. And if you didn't know that, if you're a newcomer and you didn't know, I have tons of episodes of different ghost stories, and they're all true. I don't do any fake ghost stories. It's all true accounts. So stay tuned, you guys. I hope you learned about me a little more. I hope you don't judge me, because I'm a little jailbird. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I entertained. I hope I informed. And I hope this is, like I said, I wanted this episode to bring awareness to what's going on within Kentucky, within Kentucky's juvenile detention centers. And I think I tried to do the best I can to do service as a citizen. And hopefully this is an eye-opening episode. We had some fun. We informed. Y'all have a good day.